Well, good morning, Rhona.
Hi.
Very nice to meet you. And I want to ask you today some questions about Desda Zuckerman's work. You are a practitioner of core individuation, and you are also allowed to teach certain aspects. And I want to ask you, how did core individuation change your life? And when did you get introduced to it? How did it find you?
Um, I'm I am trained as a coach, a somatic coach, and I studied with I've studied with lots of people and certified by lots of people, but I was doing somatic coaching that I had learned from Richard Heckler, Dr. Heckler, out of California, and I thought that was the cat's meow.
Oh, yeah.
But um, the way I got introduced to Desda and Desda's work, I'm going to try to make a long story very short.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I was doing an advanced bodywork class out in California with Richard, and I had a breakdown with someone, another colleague in the room, a breakdown while I was working on her, and I took it very personally. And that night, a friend of mine, Sandy Mobley, who was another certified CI practitioner and a certified somatic coach, called a woman named Rita DeTore, who studied with Desda and is also a
Okay.
certified somatic. See,
Okay.
once you get on this path of quote unquote enlightenment, you just tend to stay on it. And as you evolve, the right people show up with the right learning.
I see.
So Rita got on the phone with me and did a healing with me that night. It was in the back of a bar, and I was in front of the ladies' room, and she just worked with me, and I don't even remember what she did. But as a result of whatever Rita did, I went back into my training with Richard the following day and had a lot of ease. So I thought to myself, there's something about this work that's different than all the work I've been doing, and I was curious.
Yes.
And she didn't touch me. We did it by phone. It didn't take very long. And it brought in this whole area of kind of karmic stuff,
Ah,
karmic
interesting.
wounds and things that I don't, like as a practical person, don't put a lot of credence in
Right.
put a lot of credence in. Anyways, um, I then had Desda work with me for a while. I would get a healing a month, and I still didn't really notice a whole lot. And I was undergoing a lot of stress at that point. Or I would say it this way. Um, my default mechanism would be probably neurosis. I don't know, some other person, it could be anger, irritation, or whatever, but my default mechanism, like a default browser. And I didn't notice a whole lot, but when Desda came east and taught a combined edge and core class,
Yeah.
I started to see something, the energy about which she was speaking. Like I could see it, I could move through it. It was different than doing the somatic body work where I was aware of energy, but this felt like even more powerful, more durable, um, and something that I thought would get quicker results than a lot of the work that I had studied and learned because
Interesting.
people have recurring patterns, conditioned tendencies. Richard Heckler talks a lot about that. And I think I've been looking because I've been a seeker. I'm not a seeker anymore, but I think because I was a seeker, I was always looking for that peace, that sense of wholeness,
Mm,
that
mm.
which I would have for a little while after I would study with Richard or James Flaherty or any one of these other people that I've studied with. Um, but it was elusive and it didn't last. So I started studying with Desda. And the thing about Desda as a teacher is it's the first time I worked with a woman, studied with a woman, and it was a very close knit group. And I felt very supported throughout. And so I was willing to take great risks to have faith in something I couldn't see.
Ah, interesting.
Um, so, how has it changed my life? Well, I changed my branding of myself from being a somatic coach to being a healer coach. Because what Desda spoke to in these 4 or 5 years that I've been around her was the concept of wholeness and healing. Wholeness, the four aspects: mind, body, spirit, and emotions. And I felt like the protocols, or the like all these protocols that we've learned, enable us as practitioners to support other people in their healing to wholeness.
Yes.
And so I I took the leap of faith. I did, I made the investment, and then I changed my title to a healer coach, and now I work with other coaches who have also added natural healing or Reiki, any kind of healing modality to their coaching, and they're looking for ways to integrate and make that a bigger offer to their clients.
Fantastic. So, um, would you? So, what? Who, in your opinion, that was actually leads into our next question. Uh, who or how would you suggest CI, core individuation, is able to enhance the practice of somebody who already works with people, whether it's a social worker or an acupuncturist or a coach? How do you see that? What can CI offer to somebody who works every day with people?
I think it's a great question. Well, one of the things, two things come to mind really fast. One is holding an energetic edge. Because I'm a mindfulness practitioner now as well, I have this integration of mindfulness, Buddhist practice, core individuation, and then this huge body of work in coaching, which is somatic and ontological, yada, yada, yada. So they intersect. And what I've seen with the CI work is that for any practitioner, whether you're a social worker or a physician or a hospice nurse, it's all energy. So if it's all energy, what we want to do is be aware of it and how to work with it in a way that doesn't do harm to ourselves or other people.
Hold on a second. I